Hi, my name is Susanna Palmer, and I will be presenting a topic on the study of United States military chaplains and their sphere of influence as leaders for the freedom of religion, inclusivity, and pluralism. This topic is titled The Spiritual Gap. The reason I chose this topic is because I am a military member serving active duty as a logistics readiness officer in the United States Air Force. First and foremost, I am Christian. I love Jesus. I have observed that the military services have a lot of Christians, and they even have a lot of non-religious members that identify with spirituality, but not with a specific religion. Plus, many citizens, including military members, don't really know what the roles of the chaplaincy. The main role of the chaplaincy is to support and defend the freedom of religion. They provide religious services for military members and their families stateside, overseas, and even deployed. They provide confidential counseling and are the commander's moral and spiritual advisors. Chaplains are non-combatant members and require an armed assistant to protect them in hostile environments. A lot of military members look to chaplains as a sort of counselor or mental health advisor, but their role is firstly to support and defend the freedom of religion. To start, I would like to provide a little data on the religious makeup of the United States military. We have 2.87 million military service members, of which about 4,000 are chaplains. That's about one chaplain for every 724 military members and their families. The majority of our military is composed of various Christian denominations, including Catholic and Protestant beliefs. Almost 25% of our military is represented under other, unclassified, unknown, and less than 2% identify with Islam, Judaism, and Eastern religion combined. The U.S. as a whole has almost 6% of its population that identifies as one of these three minority religions. And this shows that perhaps there are military members with a non-Christian religion that is underrepresented within our statistics. If you look at the graph, more military members identify as agnostic or atheist than they do with the three minority non-Christian religions combined. The problem is that the chaplaincy has experienced a spiritual gap because of the cultural shift towards moral relativism, and there's a lack of knowledge about what exactly the chaplain does. Protestant Christian chaplains, in particular, must defend their personal faiths and biblical truth while also maintaining the military doctrines that promote the freedom of religion through inclusivity, and this can cause issues for a Christian chaplain who believes that their way is the only way. And in the Great Commission, when Jesus said in Matthew chapter 26, "Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you." If your denomination of Christianity takes this commission as a mission to proselytize, then the military service and the chaplaincy will conflict with your personal views, because the DoD restricts proselytization. If your denomination of Christianity believes that this commission also relates to providing spiritual leadership to Christians and future Christians in the U.S. Armed Forces, then the chaplaincy may be your calling. The question I would like to answer is, if military chaplains practice pluralism and inclusivity to effectively assess their sphere of influence, and they collaborate with non-ordained lay leaders and ordained religious leaders within the local community, do they promote the freedom of religion and bridge the spiritual gap within the religious and spiritual communities? My thesis is that if all of those within the sphere of influence of a military chaplain is affected, then by identifying individuals with a distinct worldview of those that have a cultural intelligence and spiritual identity, we can find more ways to close the spiritual gap that has occurred within the cultural shift towards a nation that feels spiritual, but without any religious identifiers. My research analysis will use a multi-method approach and combine meta-analysis with a survey of existing data and collected data to inform the edict analysis, and my personal observations and narrative will inform the EMIC. This table shows the data I will focus on with the 6 dimensions of spiritual identifiers. One significant limitation in the study is that small pool available to do this research, and that it would be difficult to generalize any of my findings for non-military hypothesis or in any nations that are not the United States. Besides these limitations, I do expect that I will find military chaplains more intrinsically motivated out of value to personal faith, religious freedom, and service to the nation, but with some extrinsic motivations as stable income and great military health and education benefits. I wanted to conclude with the text that I referred to in my study. This was an amazing program, and I'm glad that I was able to utilize the text to articulate a research analysis that means something to me, and I hope that my target audience feels the same. Thank you.